So let's talk about how you can approach your partner when you want to invest in your business. So if you've decided that you want to invest in a program and you want to talk to your partner about this decision, then the first thing you need to do is, of course, make sure you've made that decision for you. The last thing you want to do is approach your partner from a place of not being sure on yourself and really looking for their permission in order to make the investment. You need to make the decision that you want to make the investment for you. And you need to also make that commitment that you're going to do whatever it takes to make this investment work. Okay, so that's the first stage that you need to go through. It's just make sure you've made the decision for yourself, that you know why you're making that decision, you've looked at all the details, you've done your due diligence, and you know that this is going to help your business. You know the program that you're looking at is going to support you with your business. And this is what I find with my clients, is that my programs lead to a direct return on investment for my clients. You know, usually within 3 months, they've made back their investment with me. And in a lot of cases, they've doubled, tripled, or even more than that, their initial investment with me. And then they go on to continue after that. Some of my clients have gone from making $2,000 a month to then doing my program and making $15,000 a month straight away afterwards. So there's often a very big return on investment. So do your due diligence, make sure you check that out. And so the program you're investing is, like my Client Generator program, is going to give you that return on investment. And then you need to think about what you know about your partner. Okay, so what is their personality like? Are they always supportive and encouraging of you when you want to try new things, when you want to grow your business, or when you try out different things in your life? Or are they someone who is typically very cautious, is quite negative, maybe isn't very supportive? Just what do you know about them? Because then you've got to make a decision. Is it right for me to ask them about this investment? And I know that might sound really confrontational if you're married and you're in a partnership, me saying maybe you don't need to talk to your partner about this investment. Well, if you have the money within your business anyway, and you're making the decision for yourself, then maybe you don't need to talk to your partner, especially if you know that they are normally negative, not very supportive, and not encouraging, because you're just going to get that response. And that's not necessarily helpful to you with taking this step forward. However, if there's someone who is supportive and encouraging, or if you're in a situation where actually you are asking them for the money to pay for the program, then yes, you will want to have a conversation with them. So in that situation, you might want to say to them, "Hi, honey, I'd like to have a little bit of your time because there's something really important to me that I want to discuss with you. When are you free?" So you're basically saying, let's make a time just to discuss something that's really important to me. So it's not like you're bringing this up over the dinner table or just when you're trying to put the kids to bed. You actually set a time when there's going to be some quiet time where you can really talk it through. Okay. And once you've done that, then when you approach them, you want to come from a place of having made the decision and just looking for their support with it, as opposed to looking for their permission. Now, my partner was a cost controller for 30 years. So he basically worked in accounts. So I know that he is always going to say to me, "Are you sure you need to spend that money? Are you sure it's going to help you with the business? Isn't there another way you can do this?" I know that that's what he's going to say to me. Now, he does the books for my business. So I know when I'm asking him about an investment I want to make, I know that when I go in there and I've made the decision and I've done everything I just told you guys about, I've done the investigation, I know what the ROI is going to be. He's always really supportive when I've done that, but he will always say, "Are you sure you need to make this investment right now?" Okay. But I know also when I go to him and I haven't really got clear on whether this is a good investment for me to make or not, when I'm not 100% sure myself, he always reflects that. And then he's always saying, "I'm really not sure this is a good idea. Do you really need to make this investment at this moment in time? I don't think it's such a good idea." And so you can see what happens. He mirrors how I am in myself when I approach him. So I know that I typically now actually talk to him about investments when I'm not sure, because I want to talk it through with him. Because I know his background as a cost controller is actually quite helpful. And he then gets me to think about what is the return on investment. Sometimes that does work well and results in me actually making the investment. Other times it means I don't make the investment, okay? But your partner may not be someone with a background in credit control. They may have no experience of being a business owner. They might be an employee. They may be very nervous about your business and being an entrepreneur. So you've got to bear that in mind when you're talking to them. So you come from a place of saying, hi, honey, I've made a decision I want to invest in my business, and I found a program that's going to really help me to achieve my goals. I've looked into the ROI, and I think the ROI is going to be X. Okay, so whatever you think the return on investment is going to be. I know that I'm lacking these skills, and this program is going to help me solve that. I just wanted to share with you my plans, so that you can see what I'm doing. So do you see what I mean? You're not coming from a place of asking permission. You're sharing with them your plans. So you've made that decision. And if you are needing them to make the investment for you, i.e. they are going to fund the program, then of course you need to talk them through that. And they may need to be part of that decision process. Maybe they might need to come and speak to the person who you're going to be having the coaching with. Like, for instance, me, I have done this before where I've had partners come onto a follow-up call with me and the potential client, and they've had a chance to ask me their questions. So in that situation, you need to include them in the process, okay? If you are making the investment yourself, then it's really a case of just having their support, that they are on board with you as well, and that they're part of this process. They know what you're intending to do, but you're not, again, asking them for permission to make that decision. Okay, does that make sense? Now, if your partner says, no, I'm not willing to give you the money to invest in this program, then really this is an opportunity for you to figure out, how can you find the money to make that happen? Because it isn't always up to our partners to make that happen for us. Actually, we can be creative and find ways of being able to generate that money ourselves. Maybe we can take a loan. Maybe we can ask a relative. There's lots of ways that you can find the possibility of having that investment. Okay, so these are my pieces of advice for you. If you're looking to talk to your partner about making an investment in your business, and just, good luck with it, and just recommend to you just to follow your instinct. Yes, look for their support. Don't look for their permission. Good luck with it.